Hi, everybody. My name is Jessica Kong. I'm the festival director for Happy Fest. Thank you so much for joining us on our 5th day of the festival. As a friendly reminder, today's Q&A will be broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube. And so please feel free to ask any questions and leave them in the comments section, and we will try our best to get to those questions as we conduct the interview. I'm really excited to talk to today's guest. Please welcome, joining us from Taiwan, the director and writer of the feature film Mickey on the Road, Mian Liu.
Hi.
Hi, thank you so much for joining us. I am just super excited to dive right into your film, Mickey on the Road. First off, why did you want to make this movie?
When I think about this question, I always go back to very fundamental when I was, writing the script. It's just very simple question of who you are. Even I think this question is very fundamental. You ask yourself when you're a teenager. You ask yourself when you're a middle-aged woman or man, and so I feel like when you grow up, your parents tell you their expectation, what they expect you to become. My experience is, women grow up in Taiwan's society. You gotta have like a certain look, or you gotta act certain way, and of course the whole society will tell you what you supposed to be have, and then it's all that is, but deep in your heart, you kind of know that those expectation, or those they want you to become who you are is not who you are. you know and so I think the character Mickey is like the main main drive of this movie, that I want to express, and searching for the answer of who you are through this character and through her journey. Yeah, I think. Yeah, and then as a Taiwanese, when I was a kid, I was told in school that you're Chinese, because of the KMT, we are still under martial law when I was a kid, and after we democratize, we have a democracy. We can actually have a voting right for everybody. And then the other question raised that you're actually not a Chinese, you're a Taiwanese. So this kind of who you are question, like kind of attached to me while I'm grow up, so in so many ways. So I kind of think of all that. So I develop a feature film that is a Taiwanese young woman searching her father in China, and find out daddy doesn't like you, that daddy doesn't love you, and then come back to Taiwan and then keep her life. Yeah.
No, I think that was a really great focus that you had. I think one of the genre types that Mickey feels is coming of age, and so that's something that you don't have to be a young girl or a middle-aged girl. You can experience that coming of age in all stages of your life, and so I think you really captured that essence, and you're able to draw in so many different age groups within for this particular film. I know we talked backstage about how it took you 10 years to write this script.
Yeah.
So you said that Mickey was kind of your first inspiration, this character. How how soon after did you come up with Jinjin's character as well?
Well, I like a body movie a lot. I watch a lot of body movie,
Mhm.
like Two Cop, right? One is very masculine, and and one is like the recent movie Once Upon of Time of Hollywood. The, there is two character too, and I think uh, these two character, they basically you can combine them together at one. I think it's reasonable in our real life. Like we have like different, like totally opposite uh, uh, characteristic, like personality, different, uh, in one person. But in visually in movie, it's kind of like better you separate like two character and then show it so that you can show the diversity,
Mhm.
and of the background, background of story, like the society point perspective or cultural perspective, And for Jing Jing, this character, I think she's represent very feminine. She's sweet, and she has all the expectation we expect a QC Asian girl should be,
Mhm.
right? But she's not accept uh, by our society in a way, because she's so cute. So the men surrounding her think she's, she can, she's very, she's slut or something. And and Mickey's character, she's very kind of tomboy look, and so that she's, yeah. And then people think she's not like meet the expectation of what uh, woman should look like in Taiwanese society. So yeah, her mom doesn't like her look. I mean, yeah. So yeah, I mean, they're basically you can say they're in one. Jing Jing and Mickey, they're kind of mirror.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely get that compatibility and comparison as well. And you did such great casting with the female leads, Bao Wenye and Yaling Chang.
Yeah.
Um, how did you find your female leads? And is it true that Bao Wen's this is actually Bao Wen's debut performance, and that she was discovered when she was working as a bartender?
Yes. She has no experience of any kind of involved art or theater. She thinks that is a kind of artsy fartsy. When I when I in Kaohsiung, I went to a bar. She worked as a bartender a lot, and then I noticed that she has a fierce tattoo, an owl tattoo on her chest. I was like, yeah, you're my Vicky, And then so I approached her and convinced her to come to Taipei, because she was in Kaohsiung, south of Taiwan. So she got to jump on the speed rail and come to Taipei and then do the audition or do the training. For her, it's kind of very foreign field, the foreign world. I mean, Taipei is a foreign world to to her, because she's Kaohsiung kid.
Hmm.
And yeah, I kind of like convinced her very hard. Like, you can do it, you can do it. Kind of hypnotize her, and she her first reaction is like, you just drink too much, you don't know what you're talking about. But I was very insist. So yeah, I'm very happy that she finally did it, and it's a great experience.
Well, especially for such a stripped down film such as Mickey on the Road, where it's very like raw. it's great to have, that quote unquote unprofessional actor to really interpret the character and give it like that sense of realness. So
Yeah.
I think she definitely embodied that character very well. So you did right in hounding her down.
Yeah. When you drink a lot, yeah, you'll find something good, you know.
So getting into Mickey's character and her deep interest in joining the temple martial arts, um, why did you envision her, seeking out martial arts? And is it true like how you depicted? Is it like a very male dominated, you know, field, or do you see like more women kind of slowly kind of entering it now, present day?
Well, in Taiwan, uh, the martial art she played in the movie called A General's Dance, A General Performance, is very common in all those temple temple parade in Taiwan. So the temple parade in Taiwan is like how do you say that? It's like a Disney parade or like Rose. You know, in America you have like uh, flower.
Oh, like the Rose Bowl and
Yeah. It's like that. But in Taiwan is temple parade, and yes, and then these particular performance is dominated by men. And then because it still have a religious serve as a religious ceremony, and so only men can do it. The reason only men can do it is um, people consider it women are not clean because we have period. I think you heard that in so many other Asian country like
yeah, a lot
India.
of Southeast Asian countries.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so woman cannot is not allowed to get in the temple. So when I was doing the field research of for Mickey on the Road, I was actually not allowed to touch those props. You know, those
Right.
soul. You know, they give me. I said, but I want to try. You know, I want to get involved to your temple activity, and they give me a kind of a separate set, kind of wooden toy like
Right.
practice prop for women. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, um, yeah, it does has some kind of restriction because of gender. Yeah, and I think it's ridiculous because I'm clean. What are you talking about? You know, I'm just like when they said, oh, why? I asked them why. I'm just like I already know obviously why, but I do really want to ask why in the movie. I'm just like I'm clean. What are you talking about? You know? Yeah.
No, that's really interesting. But I can see your point with it being kind of also having that religious connection as well. Sometimes it's harder to change that mindset too.
And
Um,
plus, sorry, I gotta add one one more point. Is temple is a kind of community center in Taiwan, and Taiwan is the most condensed. Taiwan has the most condensed temple. Like we have more temples than 7-Eleven convenience store in Taiwan.
yeah,
So so I when I say community center, it's not like a church. The concept of church. Um, the temple's door is always open. So no matter you're homeless or you're just wandering teenagers, you can just get in the temple and then sit there, and you can and then temple offer free water, sometimes free food and companion, to serve as a community center. So for Mickey's character, she doesn't have anything to eat at their house, at her house, so she's like hanging out in the temple and get some support. Yeah.
Okay. No, I like that that kind of background as well, because it gives me, as the audience, it gives us more insight too as to why she's drawn to the temple.
Yes.
And I really liked the mobile go-go dance car scene. That
Uh-huh.
seemed like a very fun sequence to shoot. Is that very common in Taiwan?
It's common outside of big city. Like if you are in Taipei, center of Taipei, you wouldn't see that kind of temple parade with go-go dancer like the pole jeep, But
Mhm.
if you travel outside of Taipei or big city, and then the countryside, and it's very common. I mean, because the young generation are working in big city now. So now in the rural area, it's all like old people, or so they want to use this pole jeep go-go dancer to attract people to participate temple parade, and like make some exciting music, and the young people like that. So that's the way temple draw those young people to participate religious activity.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm.
Uh, Diving into kind of some more serious questions, one of the themes that stood out to me was that all of the male characters, in some fashion, disappointed the female characters. Even the seemingly helpful businessman. Was that your intention to show the fallibility of men?
Well, just look at the G7 summit or G20 summit. All those world leader. Like when they light up together, yeah, there you don't see many women in that picture, and yeah, our world facing so many challenges. I think all of us, as our generation, facing like very dramatic change of our world. Yes, we're disappointed. I mean, guys, it's like, what are you doing? You
Men
know,
step up a bit.
yeah, we should be like be more open to let including everyone like participate, or to make our society a better place. Yeah, not just like a patriarchy, patriotic, like the
A
kind of.
patriarch, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Mhm.
yes. That's the word I'm trying to say. To dominate all of us, like we just it's disappointed. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Um, and then kind of going into some of the metaphors that you used throughout the film, like the use of the fish bowls, the fish tank, kind of equating the unhealthy fish tank representing like Mickey's, you know, sorry, the unhealthy fish tank representing the dad's like Taiwanese family, so Mickey and her mom, and then representing his current family as the healthy fish bowl, as well as like the action of like peeling the shrimp. Um, what were the reasons you wanted to use those particular metaphors in your film?
A lot of Taiwanese family, they have a fish tank, like a small one, like, or that the size that Mickey's
Hmm.
house. Yeah. And yes, I kind of want uh, be the like the country kind of contrast, and yeah, and I want to be visual, and I think appealing shrimp is most in our experience, like when I was kid, and I think it's very caring, and yeah.
Hmm. Oh yeah, my mom still tries to peel shrimp for us to
That's
this
so
day.
sweet, isn't it?
It is. Diving into another that you had within your film, it seemed that both characters endured all kinds of self-discovery during the film, including sexual discovery. It was sort of ambiguous, but could we interpret that Mickey's character was actually homosexual, or did she take on a more masculine role as a result of her mother's neglectful upbringing?
Um, First of all, I when I write this script, I want write a kind of a body movie, kind of the structure as a like two good friend, and so yes, I want to leave it to kind of ambiguity uh, because I think when if you watch like a male like a two man body uh, body movie, the it's very different. It's very different. I think because I think women's friendship and then how we show we care each other, how we it's very different from men. Yeah, and so yeah, and then for Mickey's sexuality, I kind of want to leave it to ambiguities because I think ambiguity is very beautiful, and it leaves a space and it leaves the audience they can have their own interpretation, and I think it's wonderful. It's good, and for yes, for Mickey's character, her mom is not traditional mom. Traditional Asian or traditional Taiwanese mom is very strong. The tigers. They take care of everything. They dominate you. But
Yeah.
Mickey's mom is kind of like bubbling. Still living in her own world and doesn't function well. Um, so yeah, the main character need to grow up as an adult herself because her family. I think this is kind of my personal experience when I grow up too, because I gotta take care of myself too. So it's really hard to avoid that. I put that into my script. So maybe yeah. So Mickey gotta man up, like we said, to take care of herself, to find her own food for herself and for mom. Yeah.
Oh, I like that personal touch. And um, going into kind of, her, all of the culmination throughout the movie, it builds up to, her final confrontation with her dad and everything. But, right before that, she has this moment like where she's cutting her hair, which can also kind of be kind of a sign of like, uh, gender sexual liberation. What was your driving, what was driving the character Mickey at that moment? What emotions were you hoping to get across in that particular scene?
Well, I kind of want the character shape her look by herself. I decide what I'm going to look like, not by the society, not by parents' expectation, but based on how I feel or I think we all have that kind of experience, that moment that you don't like how you look. You look at the mirror, I don't, you hate my hair. It's like we all experience that moment. That guy, I hate my hair, or like I hate what I look. But I think that moment, Mickey kind of cutting her hair shows a determination. Like from now on, I'm going to decide how I'm going to, how I look, and I'm going to accept how I look, no matter how shit is that, and I'm going to do it. So yeah, I think she has that determination at that moment. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Uh, And then kind of going into, the final scenes where she actually gets to finally confront her dad. Did you already, or did you originally plan for her to, physically attack her dad in the end, or how
Yes,
did that scene come about?
that to stab her dad is original in the script,
Hmm.
and but the in the end, the editor and me, we kind of decide we kind of want to handle that moment that way. Is because I think the audience can kind of have the imagination, because you see like you watch 1,000 times of stabbing scene in your TV or in movies. So basically, yeah, you know what that means. You know what you can imagine what that happens, and then yeah, and then but it's more like I want it to be more symbolic. The way we handle the editing, yeah, it's because I think it's more if we leave it too realistic, it's kind of a lack of something. I couldn't say. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
No, I think it was, tastefully shot. If you don't have to do gratuitous, violent scenes, then, you know, it's good to leave it at, to interpretation.
Yeah.
Um, what were some of the challenges you faced making them film?
mm, I think the hardest part is as a first time director, um, I think you're always facing that you gotta convince people to participate your movie, especially investors. Um, yeah, and I think that's how you deliver that sentence, like, oh, please give me $1 million because I have a good story. I'm very talented person. It's like, are you lunatic, or you crazy or something? So I think it's very hard. Yeah, and uh, but I still kind of we're very lucky because in Taiwan we have government funding to fund various different, like, various movie. For Mickey on the Road, the feedback from the investors is always like, this movie is not going to make me money, makes any money. And but luckily the government has some funding I can apply to, to fund this project. So, and then this movie got to made. Yeah.
Well, I'm certainly glad that you were able to get the funding because it's been a pleasure having your film screened, during our festival. And kind of going with the festival theme about raising communities, our film block that we're representing is Raising Fierce Women. And
Yes.
I think what your film captured was like a refreshing display of sisterhood and friendship and with like bone crushing vulnerability. And I think your actresses, Bao Wen and Yao Ling, I think they did a really great job, drawing in the audiences to root for these characters' successes. So, what kind of future did you kind of imagine for Mickey and Jinjin after, or Jinjin after, after the ending of the film? Like, did you do you have kind of a future in mind for each character?
I think they will kind of still good friend, and I think they will have some kind of life to support each other's life in some way. And I think Jing Jing will become a very successful businesswoman, and I think she will partner with Bao Wen, with Mickey, and then they can have a pretty good life, you know, and then they will happy together as best friend, and yeah.
Do you think Jinjin keeps the baby, or is that kind of left into interpretation as well?
I don't think Jinjin will keep the baby, because we are, in Taiwan, we are pretty advanced of the abortion law. You know, if you're adult and if you're an adult woman, and then you can decide for yourself. So I don't think Ginger. I don't know. It's a good question. She might keep the baby. That would be fun.
Yeah.
Like, she will have Mickey as her auntie. Looking after the baby. That's cool. Yeah.
That would be nice. Then you can
Yeah.
make it equal.
Yes. Yeah.
So what do you hope others take away from your film? I know we kind of touched on a lot of different, topics. Anything in particular that you really want to kind of drive home to the audiences and what you hope for this film's future?
Yeah. I think our environment right now is very depressing, just like Mickey's family. Dad is not home, mom is not function, and you gotta find your own food. I mean, limited jobs, and then and we facing a lot of challenges. But I hope that in the end, we can all kind of recognize those difficulties. Yes, we have those challenges, but we can have courage, to solve all those problems we have, and we can shout, then we can get rid of, the bad part, no matter that part is so important, or we can just find our own strength in the end, I think. Yeah.
I completely agree. I think that's a well placed message, and I hope that's something that does come across in the film. So I hope everybody got to see that as well.
Yes.
Drew the same conclusion.
Yes. Yeah.
Is there any upcoming projects that you're currently working on that you can tell us about?
I'm writing a sci-fi Buddhism sci-fi movie, because I have a great interest in religion. So yeah, I'm kind of want to make a sci-fi movie that if right now our world, I think gender topic is that we respect everyone's uh, choice, right? And I think right now we should respect and taking care of every species, not race. Sorry, bad English. And so, because in Buddhism's philosophy, the pig you're killing right now, probably your mom in your last life, right? So we got to treat not just human being each other friendly and nice, but every species, and because we are sharing, this earth together. So I know this sounds like really big, but I kind of yeah, I'm kind of into it. Yeah, it's going on.
Oh, that sounds exciting. I
Yeah.
always love a good sci-fi movie, so I think, you know, if anybody can pull that visual off, it could be you. to And
Yeah.
that's the great thing about filmmaking is that even something that sounds kind of like, wide or far-fetched or, you know, maybe hard to visualize in the real world, that's something that's great about filmmaking is you can expand that world visually.
Yes, I think yeah, this is the only fun of we watching film, right? Yeah.
It's been really great talking with you, Min Min. If audiences could watch the film Mickey on the Road again or purchase the film, where can they go?
We are on Gaga Ulala, this platform. I think they are in US too. And yeah, and then you can just Google Gaga Ulala, and yeah, you can, and then you searching Mickey on the Road, and then yeah, you can watch Mickey on the Road on that platform. And so far, we are still looking for a representative. I mean, we hope that we can uh, more people can see our movie. Yeah, we still looking for sales representative in America or other side of,
Distribution and
yeah,
okay.
distribution. Yeah. So yeah, we just hoping that we keeping pushing, and then hope we have good news, can share.
Well, that's great. I hope, I wish you all the luck for that as well. And, you know, audiences, members, please, be sure to check out Mian Min and all of her social media so that you can help, support this project. And, it's been such a great pleasure talking with you. And, thank you so much for taking the time out. I know you're in Taiwan, so you're kind of in the morning hours right now. So thank
Yeah.
you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Well, thank you. This actually concludes today's Q&A. Again, audience members, if you'd like to follow Mian Mian and all of her projects, as well as the updates for Mickey on the Road, please follow all the social media that's listed below. We'll also share the information on our social media. This is the wrap for day 5 of Happy Fest. Please check out the rest of our lineup this week at happifest.com. Tomorrow's evening block will actually be Raising Rebels. So kind of leading in from this film up till tomorrow, it's, tonight's film as well as tomorrow's films, Atomic Cafe, The Noisiest Corner in J-Town, Tammy, and Fall Back Down. They boldly break down the preconception society has on Asian Americans in colorful punk rock fashion. So please check out these films tomorrow. We will actually be doing a live Q&A with all 3 of the filmmakers and their guests, so you don't want to miss out. Have a great evening, everybody, and thank you again.